Hello everyone, this is World Exposure. Well, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I know those saved on board that Northwest Airlines did, but how in the world was this terrorist allowed to travel to the United States anyhow? First of all, it was Christmas Day and the threat of terrorism is very high, and we should have been much more alert to that. Secondly, his own father reported him to the United States Embassy 6 months ago, and most of all, his name was on a federal database watch list. And the United States has known about his tie with terrorism for 2 years. There is even suggestion that he had ties with a terrorist coward that killed 13 people at Fort Hood last month. But we've already forgotten about that. And this guy was sitting there studying engineering at London's University College. The government has the resources, technology, and our money to filter out these morons. But they're either not using it, there's a hole in the process, or both. Is the government making sure that the names on the watch list or no-fly list are getting through to all the FAA, TSA, and the airlines? And if they were able to get through and book a flight, their name should show up as a red flag in their database. Now this moron should have been on the no-fly list. Or better yet, get rid of the watch list and just make it one big no-fly list. But instead of punishing the terrorist, we the traveler are the ones who are punished. For example, the stupid shoe bomber Richard Reed. He never should have been able to get aboard an airplane, but because the system has holes, and he did, and thanks to him trying to carry out his plan to blow up the plane, we all now have to wait in much longer security lines at the airport to take off our shoes, go through security, and then to put them back on again. And the restrictions on what you carry on board the plane are now much more strict. We have to have cosmetics in a clear Ziploc bag of so many ounces. The containers inside the Ziploc bags must be clear of so many ounces, and they must be taken out of your bag, placed on the slow conveyor belt, and then put back in your bag again after it's scanned, slowing down the process even more. You know, I can't even begin to imagine of how much more strict and slower the security at airports will now be, especially with all those people coming back from their Christmas destinations. All because this suspected terrorist was allowed to board a plane. I wouldn't be surprised to see pat-downs now. You might not even be able to choose your own seats anymore. These morons need to be weeded out when they're trying to book a flight. It can't just be hit or miss at security in the airports where we the travelers are the ones who are treated like suspects. And it's the travelers that are the ones who are stopping it from happening. The government seems to just be relying on those working security or those aboard the plane to be the ones to save the day. These terrorists have the patience, funding, and knowledge to carry out their plans 100%. They will spend years of training and learning the proper ways to carry out their actions. This moron even chose his own seat, 19A, which would have been the best place to damage the plane the most because it's above the wing and the center of the fuselage. We need to spend just as much time and effort trying to weed out these morons, and the best place to start would be to stop funding nations like Yemen that have ties to terrorism.